Walk us through the process of assessing these partnerships. You name-checked some of the best known when it comes to, fast food. You've also got some partnerships in casual dining. How does that work? Because, pun intended, it feels like everybody wants a piece of this market right now.
Right. So you always want to align yourself with the marquee players, and that's what we've done from the beginning of the company. So when we decided to go into retail way back in 2009, the first company we called was Whole Foods, and then we've been able to proliferate out through Kroger, et cetera. But when you look at our venture history, the first venture firm we worked with was Kleiner Perkins, and now we have a great list, including Great Point Ventures and many others. But if you're now looking at the fast food space or the quick serve restaurant space, you also want to adopt the same philosophy. Who are the marquee players, and how do you become of service to them? And that's what we've been able to do, whether it's McDonald's, whether it's Subway, whether it's KFC or Dunkin'. We're constantly looking, Carl's Jr., Hardee's, et cetera. We're constantly looking to serve the very best partners in the space so that we can grow with them.
What's the focus? Is it retail or food service, or will it be a 50-50 split going forward?
Our focus is entirely on the consumer. It's our relationship with the consumer that makes the business so special. We listen to what they say. They told us no GMOs. They told us nothing artificial. They said keep everything natural, so that's what we do. And that makes it harder, by the way. It would be much easier to genetically modify plant material to make it take on the texture and appearance and aroma of animal protein.
Right.
But we won't do that. And so we're constantly focused on what the consumer wants. We'll meet the consumer where they are. So if it's quick serve restaurants, we'll be there for them. If it's retail, we'll be for them. Right now it's about 50-50, and the market will tell us which direction to go in.
So it could change going forward.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, Ethan, when you think about the test, let's just talk about McDonald's for a second. What have you learned so far? Because obviously that's, from a volume perspective, but also from a brand perspective, something that everyone, investors included, have been looking at very closely. What have you taken away from that test?
So I had the great privilege of being up in the Ontario area a couple weeks ago, and I drove out to McDonald's there, and I went to 3 different stores and had the burger at each location, and they were identical and delicious. It was a fantastic experience for me, and one that was very satisfying. It's a goal I've had for a very long time, to be of service to McDonald's. It's going very well. I think you heard the CEO of McDonald's Canada say that. We can't comment further than what they've said publicly, but I'm very enthusiastic about that relationship and our ability to grow the partnership.
Does it expand then to the United States?
That's up to them, but what you want is a great test, and I think we have every sign that that's the case.
China accounts for about 27% of the world's meat consumption by volume. They already eat a lot of plant proteins, and they kind of look at meat as a bit of a status symbol there. What's your approach? What's your expectations for China?
You'll see us be very aggressive there. We are aggressive in each market that we occupy, whether here in the United States, mentioning again those partnerships, McDonald's, KFC, Dunkin', Subway, et cetera. You'll see us move with speed and exploit the first mover advantage we have globally in terms of building the brand that's most closely associated with the plant-based meat movement. So I can't disclose anything particular, but you can guess that we're very excited about that market and very active in our plans.
All right, let's talk a little bit about chicken, if we can. Big chicken fans here as well.
I'm kind of hungry, I'm just going to tell you.
Seriously. I mean, the KFC test, as it were, down in Atlanta, I believe, is where that was. Yeah. It went gangbusters. How soon can you sort of get into that market in a meaningful way?
So you'll see some exciting things from us in the poultry space in 2020. I can't name specific partners or developments, but we look at 3 core platforms. We have beef, pork, and poultry. And you can see consumers pulling off very quickly of beef and pork. And you're also starting to see some pressure around the poultry industry. So we've done a lot of work there. You'll see the fruits of that in 2020.
I do wonder what you've learned along this very interesting year as a CEO and as a leader of a company that really is about a lifestyle and sort of who we are.
So to get up every day and be able to go into an office and work on issues that are so important, not only to me personally, but to the world, is a privilege. And so this year, I think we were recognized by the markets for what we're doing. And we don't believe that this is a short-lived trend. This is something that has very long legs to it. If you think about what we're doing, we're not suggesting that people don't eat meat. We think that'd be a big mistake. I grew up eating meat. I love meat. I love fried chicken. I love burgers. The idea behind the company is to provide a better form of meat, right? To provide meat that provides all of the delicious, satiating experience that we've come to love, but does so in a way that's healthy for your bodies and healthier for the earth. If you look at what the mobile phone did in relation to the landline, nobody had to denigrate the landline. And we don't think we have to denigrate animal protein. We simply have to provide the consumer with a new and better choice and let them make the decision. And if we're successful, more and more will sign on with us.